Since the invention of moving pictures and the emergence of cinema, human beings' relationship to technology and the possibilities this has for our future have been frequently discussed by many film directors. Many directors and cinematographers make use of this technological medium to convey a commentary on modern Western society and explore the potential technology has to reimagine the nature of human existence, our perception of ourselves, and our reality. So what does it mean to be human in the digital age? Are we clinging to an anachronistic ideal? Are human beings truly becoming obsolete? Which version of ourselves is the real one? And how much of science fiction is actually fiction? Let's take a trip down the rabbit hole. Cinema changed the way people think. It changed the way we dream. It provided us the opportunity to see our stories, not just to read them and imagine them for ourselves. Widely accepted as the first film in history, the oldest surviving film recorded was the Roundhay Garden scene, with a duration of 2 seconds. Then there was the train scene, which rumour has it had people running from their seats afraid the train would come through the screen and run them over. How fascinating this new technology was. One of the most significant films, Le Voyage dans la Lune in 1902, is considered the first feature-length film at 15 minutes long. It is immensely iconic in film history, but is also significant as a precursor to the technological advancement of space travel. The theory of space travel was still yet just a dream, but the important fact is that we were still dreaming, and soon those dreams would become reality. Flash forward to today, and much of our science fiction has become science fact. Writer Philip K. Dick is well known for speculative fiction that reimagines and questions the essence of human being and human nature. His work confronts the social anxieties faced by an increasingly digital generation. Dick's work brought to the screen adaptations such as Blade Runner 2049, Total Recall, Minority Report, A Scanner Darkly, and the recent 2017 TV series of parables, Electric Dreams. Dick's daughter suggests he didn't necessarily predict a lot of inventions. It was more about how technology impacted on human beings. Electric Dreams explores the realms of reality perception and what it means to be human. In real life, we meet two people using virtual reality to escape as each other. In one reality is Sarah, a police officer, the other, George, a game designer. Each is trying to escape a traumatic event, and both begin to lose grip on reality, questioning which version of self is actually real. The episode ends with the comatose body of Sarah, having decided to continue living as George, mistakenly leaving behind her actual reality and her loving wife, believing it was too good to be real. Now, Dick was a bit negative towards technology, suffering from paranoia, a byproduct of mental illness and copious drug use, but he did manage to imagine the future very close to the mark. Virtual reality simulators are now in fact very real, and each day brings further advancements in this area. Reality as experienced by Sarah is transformed into standing reserve, existing only to serve her need for escape, one reality being interchangeable for various other pseudo-realities manufactured by very sophisticated people using very sophisticated electronic mechanisms. The ability to live inside the virtual could mean reality itself becomes obsolete, with people choosing avatars over their own bodies.
Oh wow, this place is objectively interesting.
This is the case in an episode from a popular kids' TV show, Adventure Time. In this episode, the protagonists discover their friend has been lost into a simulation, as well as the inhabitants of an entire island. These people know nothing outside of their virtual reality and have become depressing offshoots of the human species, calling into question whether they can still be considered human at all.
I can do nothing for you in this reality, Vinny.
No!
In a further episode of Electric Dreams entitled Human Is, Vera is trapped in an arranged and loveless marriage with an abusive military leader, Silas. After returning from war, Silas begins to exhibit uncharacteristic kindness and love for his wife. Due to this sudden change of personality, he is put to trial under suspicion that a violent enemy entity is now inhabiting his body. Silas confesses on the condition Vera is exonerated of all charges held against her, contradicting the violent and selfish nature of the creature he is accused of being. On account of his compassion, he is judged to be human. The two return to the privacy of their home, where we learn that Silas is indeed an alien, and the two are very much happy together. So what is it to be human if the alien entity shows more compassion than the human being? Why is it that to be judged human, one must be compassionate, and to be other, one must be a violent animal? In this case, there was no such clear distinction, and questions a very core of humanity itself. The 1999 movie Bicentennial Man, based on the 1976 novel by Isaac Asimov, The Bicentennial Man and Other Stories, introduces an android built to serve humans. Andrew, as he is affectionately called by the family, starts to exhibit behaviour uncharacteristic to androids. He begins to show signs of creativity, curiosity, humour, and affection. The family recognises Andrew's differences and their potential and encourages him to go out into the world to realise it for himself, starting Andrew on a journey of self-actualisation. Through a series of upgrades or even surgeries, Andrew achieves human appearance, the ability to feel through a central nervous system, and eventually fights to be recognised as a human being. Andrew begins to feel emotion and falls in love, once again questioning what it is that makes one human. Is it our appearance? Is it our compassion, as was evidenced in Electric Dreams? Or is it in our biological makeup, as is discussed in Andrew's case? Taking these two examples into account, could the future of the human race actually be mechanical? The alien being that took over Silas's body did not have one of its own. Let us assume a hypothetical argument. If we could remove the consciousness from a human body and place it inside a body that can never die, such as Andrew's original body, would this still be considered a human? Or would it be labelled as an abomination? And if we could in fact achieve this feat, would human being become obsolete altogether? If this were to be true, humanity would indeed be the author of its own recreation. There are many other films that explore the human experience, reality, and what it means to be human. The commentary they provide can be either positive or negative, yet many choose to focus on the negative aspects, such as films influenced by Philip K. Dick's stories. Many of us aren't even aware of how much this technology has already changed the ways in which we practice being human. We laugh to think that anyone jumped out of their seats at the sight of a moving train on film. Yet we also experience this sensation ourselves when using virtual reality simulators for the first time. Humans are already in a liminal stage wherein the essence of human being is changing, adapting. There is no longer such a distinction between the good and the evil of technology. Human being is becoming indistinguishable as these changes occur. By using science fiction films as a medium, directors are speculating on the very nature of humanity, and maybe, just maybe, they'll hit the mark like Philip K. Dick managed to do. Our future is uncertain. The only thing that can be known for sure is that technology will play a major role in whatever the outcome happens to be.